Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly forecast for February 28th through March 6th. This is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video after the time I mentioned. That's fine. You're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever it was time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the Capricorn collective. Therefore, not every single message will resonate. But take what does and leave what doesn't. Let's see what's going on here. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. One more shuffle. All right. I know some of you are saying, what about Venus? Why don't you do Capricorn Venus? I don't do Capricorn Venus in the weeklies because I do love readings separate on my channel. Love readings are linked in the description. So we're going to get right on in here and see what's coming up for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. First card we have here is the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands can be a few different things. In terms of career or self-employment, Five of Wands is super positive because it's like you have made it into the competition. You're being taken seriously. People are feeling a little intimidated by you, Capricorn. They're like, oh man, where'd Capricorn come from, right? So Five of Wands in terms of career or in terms of self-employment is like you've made a name for yourself, right? Your business is on the map, or your reputation is preceding you. Like people are talking about you. People see you as, you know, the one to beat right now. So this could be really positive in terms of anything having to do with career or business. Five of Wands can also come up when we're dealing with some kind of an internal struggle. Like we want to do one thing, but we're kind of feeling conflicted about it. And so it could be, should I stay or should I go energy? Or, you know, feeling bad that you don't want to let somebody down or you don't want to disappoint somebody. There could be an inner struggle for some of you with this Five of Wands where you're feeling conflicted about a situation. I feel, Capricorn, some of you, this Five of Wands is coming up, and this isn't going to be for a lot of you. I'm going to say maybe like 40% of you. I feel like some of you Capricorns are in a situation where you're dealing with a person or situation. It could be a job or a relationship or family situation where you're being made to feel like you really let somebody down, or you disappointed someone, or you're not quite up to par, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so you're in this energy of jumping through hoops. You're feeling like, I have to redeem myself. I have to prove myself. I have to redeem myself. I have to do better. And you're jumping through hoops to win back favor from your boss or from your spouse or from your significant other or your family members. And I feel like the message here is that you will go on jumping through these hoops forever and ever and ever if you allow it. Because I feel like this Five of Wands, in this case, this struggle is never going to end. I feel like this person has figured out that this is the way that they're going to get the maximum performance out of you. So they're never going to give you that validation. They're never going to give you that redemption. They're never going to say, all right, Capricorn, you proved yourself to me now. I trust you again, or I'm happy with you again. It's always going to be this looming feeling of I'm not doing a good job, and I better do my best, and I better bring my A game. Otherwise, this person or situation isn't going to want me anymore. I hate to say it, but it feels to me like a control tactic. That this is a way somebody is manipulating the situation so that they're getting the most out of you, right? Maybe this week some of you are beginning to realize that. Maybe this week some of you are beginning to see, you know what? This person is playing games with me here, or I'm never gonna, make them happy. I'm never gonna be off the hook, so to speak. And so I feel for some of you, you're getting really tired those of you who are realizing this and you're saying, I'm not going to keep doing this, right? I'm going to find another job where they don't use these kinds of mind games, or I'm going to find another relationship. I'm going to end things with this person, or I'm going to find a different living arrangement because this is too stressful. I don't like being in this environment. So I do feel those of you who are waking up and beginning to see it are going to decide to withdraw from it, right? You're not going to tell yourself, oh, let me keep jumping through these hoops. The next card that's coming up here for Capricorn is the Four of Swords. My dears and my darlings, if this is not an applicable card for our poor Capricorns, I don't know what is. I'm not a Capricorn, but all my siblings are Capricorns. I'm the only child in my family who is not a Capricorn. And I know that Capricorns have had a really difficult past, I'm going to say decade, like past 10 years. And I can relate and I can sympathize because Scorpio also had a brutal decade from the Saturn, the cycle that Saturn was in. It wreaked hell on our lives, and Capricorns have been going through something very similar. It is wrapping up. You all are going to be coming out of it here, but the Four of Swords for me in a reading comes up for somebody when emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes even physically, you have been through the ringer, like you have been through hell and back. And the Four of Swords is basically coming up to say, look, you might have a lot of things you want to do. You might have a lot of ambition. You might even have begun to notice that there's light coming into your life, like there's light at the end of the tunnel, or the energy is starting to get a little easier, and you're like, oh my gosh, let me strike while the iron is hot. Let me go and try to get the most progress that I can. Let me go and try to get the most achievement that I can, because the energy is starting to lighten up. It is beginning to lift. So let me go out there and, get all this done while I'm unblocked. You don't want to go into it with that mindset, because that mindset applies that this easier energy is a temporary thing. You don't want to put that belief out there. You don't want to tell yourself, oh, this is a limited time offer. Let me hurry up and get the most that I can. You don't want to create that as your reality, but rather this is the new normal, right? This lighter energy is the new normal. The tough time, the struggle is behind me. You want to have that mindset. But the Four of Swords tells us, even though you have a lot of things you want to do right now, Four of Swords is telling us you need to recover. You need to recuperate. You have been through hell and back. You are emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically exhausted. You need this time to rest, to recover, and to recuperate. And that's what you should be focusing on right now, Capricorn. This is a time that you need to be gentle with yourself. You might have a lot of ambitions, and you might have a lot of goals that you want to reach, and that's a beautiful thing. And you will reach them. You will get there. But first, you need to take care of you. First, you need to take care of you and get your energy back, get your strength back. Release and process the difficult times you've gone through. Sometimes this can be done through music. So maybe some of you just need to kind of lay down and let your music play in your free time and just let yourself go on this inward journey through the songs, through the music. Have your release. Those of you who are working to do any kind of release, whether you're doing shadow work or sea salt baths or journeying through music, I would really, really recommend, Capricorn, that you take time to clear your space before and after. So before you have a little clearing or processing session for yourself, go through and sage or smudge the place with incense or essential oil diffuser or essential oil spray, or through prayer or bells or singing bowls or whatever it is that you have available to you. to do some energy lifting, energy clearing. Clear the energy before and after the sessions. I think it's going to be very helpful. But I feel like this is a time to process and release. Okay, process and release, and just be gentle with yourself. Okay, be gentle with yourself. You're not in a race against the clock. Remind yourself of this. One more thing I wanted to say. I do feel some of you are in some kind of a situation where you are and again, I don't like to focus on love and romance in the weekly forecasts. Um, but I feel for some of you, there's a situation here where you're beginning to realize that there's somebody romantically who came into your life at a time. I don't want to say you didn't appreciate them, but you're looking back on the situation and you're like, this person is perfect for me. This person is like the person. If this person came up to me today, I would marry them. I would move in with them. I would move them into my place. Like, this person would be so great for me, but I didn't see it at the time, or I didn't realize it at the time. And you're kind of kicking yourself like you messed this up, or you lost this opportunity with this person. It's not that you messed it up, Capricorn, and it's not that you didn't appreciate the person. It just at that time wasn't the time. The timing was not right. You had things you had to go through and learn and grow, and the person that you have on your mind had things that they had to learn and go through and grow. So even if back then you would have said, okay, person, you're perfect, let's do this, let's be together, you all would have broken up by now. You would not have stayed together. But the Four of Swords in this instance is telling me, those of you that have this person on your mind, this person is going to be returning to you. You all are going to be reconnecting again. And this time is the right time, and you both are ready. So this time coming together, it's going to work out. You're going to be able to have a successful relationship. And I feel there's a sense here where there may be a physical distance. This person is coming to join you. Right? So maybe you moved away and relocated. They're coming to where you are. Maybe they live in another country and they're going to be coming to where you are. But I feel that for some of you, there's a sense of a love, what feels like a missed opportunity or a lost love, who might be far away, like reuniting. Right? I don't focus on love and romance in the weekly forecast, but sometimes the message comes in. And if the message comes in, I have to share it. It's not right for me to edit the information that I'm receiving. It's my job to share the information that I'm receiving. So for some of you, there is that element. The next card that's coming up here, you guys, is the Page of Pentacles. This also came up for Aries. So maybe some of you are wrapping something up with an Aries. There could be a sense or a feeling of stability or security with the Page of Pentacles, but the Page of Pentacles for me is also a sense of like laying down a new foundation, like laying down a new way of doing things. And the Page of Pentacles for me is getting smarter with your money, figuring out how money works, improving your relationship with money, finding long-term solutions to financial problems versus short-term. So an example of a short-term solution to a financial problem. Say somebody is struggling financially and they're having a hard time making their bills. And so they say, oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a second job, right? I'm going to have a night and weekend job, or I'm going to do a night and weekend gig. I'll go ahead and I'll DoorDash or Lyft or Uber nights and weekends. This is a short-term solution because it's not something that you're going to be able to do forever. You cannot work 2 or 3 jobs all your career until you retire. At some point, you're going to tire out. At some point, it's going to be too much. So that would be a temporary solution. A long-term solution would be, all right, I'm going to sit down and look at my finances here. I'm going to figure out where there's some unnecessary spending. I'm going to figure out where to cut this unnecessary spending. I'm going to figure out how money works. I'm going to look at different kinds of investments, different kinds of accounts and things that accrue interest. And I'm going to put my money in these kinds of investments or accounts so that my money is growing and expanding over time. I'm going to look at the talents and the resources that are available to me and how I can put those to use to make money. Maybe I have some collector items that are just sitting around collecting dust. Might be a good time to sell those. Maybe I've got some designer clothing and shoes and bags that I haven't used in the longest time. I can put those up for sale and liquidate those. I might have some extra space. Maybe I'm going to rent out that extra space or do an Airbnb. I might have some things that I'm good at. I might begin to offer my services. And that it can turn into a business over time. So it's taking what you have and using it to benefit you, getting smarter and more productive and more efficient with your energy, your time, and your resources to where you're creating real long term solutions, real long term stability, changing and improving your relationship with money, and figuring out how money works. Okay? There could be that aspect here. I do feel that for some of you, there may be, and again, particularly an ex who may owe you money and they may be resurfacing and they may be paying you back very begrudgingly because they have it in their mind. I don't know why, Capricorn, but they have it in their mind that for some reason they have had nothing but bad luck since breaking up with you or rejecting you or whatever they did. They have had nothing but bad luck, and they think in some way they're being punished, or they might even be thinking that Capricorn, like, I think Capricorn put a curse on me. I think Capricorn hexed me in some way. And so they're thinking that they need to pay back this money to be done with the bad juju, to be done with the bad energy. So don't be surprised if some of you have an ex out there who owes you money, who's showing up and they're like, here, just take it. Just take it. And it's not even about wanting to reconcile with you. I just feel like they feel that they've been punished or that there's some kind of bad energy on them ever since whatever happened between the two of you. Okay? Not going to be for every single one of you, but I do feel that sense. Don't be surprised if some of you hear from somebody out of nowhere and they're like, oh, I want to pay you back that money. And you're like, what? Is this a catch? Is this a ploy? I don't think it's a ploy. I think they genuinely feel like they need to repay this so that they can get their life back because they feel like they've been punished. The next card that's coming up here, very promising, is the Devil. Why is it very promising? Because it's your card, Capricorn. Not that Capricorn is the devil, but because the devil in this instance represents the physical domain, the earth domain, right? The domain of the flesh and the physical world. Well, Capricorn, you all are an earth sign. So you guys are like the earthiest of the earth signs. You are the main earthy energy here. So the devil card represents Capricorn is represented by the devil card. So for me in my readings, when I'm reading for somebody and the major arcana card comes up for their zodiac sign, it tells me that everything that's going on at the time of the reading is directly connected to you stepping into your full power and having like this awakening, having this coming into your authenticity. When I see your major arcana card come up, it's telling me that this is the time that you're getting very clear about what you want and living your life unapologetically, the way that is best for you, the way that is what you want and what you need. It's a time that you're coming into where you're shaking off the the conditioning and the programming that happens from the day that we're born, right? From the day that we're born, we start being taught who to be. And sometimes who we're being taught who to be is directly against our nature or who we are in our identity. And so for me, when your major arcana card comes up, you are returning to your true identity. You are returning to the identity you had the day that you were born, and you're shaking off the programming and the conditioning and the labels that have been put upon you your whole life. And you're in your authenticity. This is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I want. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. There's a sense of confidence, taking back your confidence when your major arcana card comes in. The things that you've been beating yourself about, the things about yourself that you think are weaknesses or flaws, you start to realize, hey, wait a minute, this is actually really positive. If I take this trait or this characteristic and I use it properly, this is a great tool to have. This isn't something to be ashamed of. And the best example that I can give you, whether you are a determined and go-getter person or a selfish, overbearing person, can depend on if people agree with your priorities or with your beliefs, right? Like if you're trying to raise money to open up a children's hospital to help children who have life-threatening sicknesses, and you're not giving up. You are just going and you are collecting money, and you're like hounding people down and being really persistent, and you're collecting all the money and you're opening up the children's hospital. Everyone's gonna look at you like you're a hero. Everyone's going to look at you like you're this amazing person. Like, oh my gosh, Capricorn, you're so tenacious. You're so determined. You don't give up. You get the job done. People are going to celebrate you. But because we'll say most people care about sick kids and most people want sick kids to get better. But say you were raising money for a cause that was near and dear to your heart. Maybe you were trying to raise money for a political cause or a political issue. People who don't agree with your politics might look at you as, oh my gosh, look at this, shameless person here, like begging for money, and they don't take no for an answer, and here they are and they're trying to push their beliefs on everybody else, and they might start saying that you are annoying, that you're pestering, that you don't take no for an answer, and they start looking at you like in a negative way. But if you had been doing that for a cause that they believe in, they would have been praising you. They would have been saying that this is a really great aspect of your personality. So that's why I'm trying to explain to you, whether your personality is good or bad kind of comes down to whether or not people believe in your ethics or your principles or your priorities. And I think, Capricorn, you're beginning to realize that maybe I've just been around the wrong people, right? But these are not weaknesses. This is not something bad about me. This is something really good. And I can put it to use, and I can do a lot of good with these characteristics or with these traits. You may want to check out your moon, sun, and your rising sign video. Sometimes that resonates for you more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. And don't forget to check out the love readings for March that are linked in the description, and then the daily messages I've been posting. So check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Hopefully I'll see you all in the comments and the dailies as well. Take care and be well.